Let's get this party started.
Hey, what's up guys? I just finished watching Severance, and this show is incredible. I could talk about the directing, the cinematography, the writing, or many other amazing aspects of this thing. But you know who never gets any attention? The actors. I'm just kidding. Obviously, actors typically get all the credit, and whether a TV show or movie flops or does fantastic. But in this show, I think the acting is something special and dynamic, and I just want to talk about it. And honestly, I think it's the best acting on TV right now. So in this video, I'm going to go over a few of my favorite performances from the show and why I think they're spectacular. Heads up to anyone who hasn't seen the show, or just hasn't finished it yet. I'll be spoiling the entire thing up to the season 2 finale, so click off now and go finish it, and then please come back here. If you stuck around and are okay with spoilers, Severance is a show about people's work selves called Innies being split from their personal life selves called Outies. They don't share anything besides their bodies. Not memories, nothing. Now, back to the acting. When you think of a great performance, what comes to mind? I would say the average person would say something along the lines of Jack Nicholson in A Few Good Men, Peter Dinklage in the trial scene of Game of Thrones, or Adam Driver in A Wedding Story. And those performances are amazing. They really stand out because of how well they nail those big emotional moments. Severance has a few of those, but it really stands out in the range and subtlety of the performances. And I'm not the first YouTuber to suggest there's also power in subtle acting, but Severance's acting stands on its own. Hot take maybe, but I think an actress pretending to be a character who is also pretending to be another version of her alternate self, that is art, that is craft, and that is a whole other level of acting. My favorite performance in the show is Britt Lower as Helena Negan and Helly. Helly and Helena are definitely the most contrasting Innie Outie combination in the show. Helena was raised as the royal heir to the Lumen Company, and Helly is the new intern on the severed floor. Helena is about precision and politics. Helly is about chaos, and she speaks her mind to anyone.
It's Cobell, right? Cobell. Do I look like I'm around right now?
They share the same body, but Britt Lower really sells the quiet restraint of Helena and the fire of Helly. But what's really next level is when she plays Helena pretending to be Helly. That twist midway through season 2 changes everything. Helena has been pretending to be Helly for the entirety of season 2 up to that point, and Britt Lower didn't just play Helly. She actually played Helena playing Helly. She added nuance and gave hints in the performance that made you question if it's actually Helly, but you never are sure if something's up. A twitch of an eyebrow or a stiff smile makes you question who you're really watching, and maybe you don't notice it the first time. I didn't, but you can't miss it the second time. Another example is in the love scene Helena has with Mark in the tent. It's cut between Irv nearly dying in the woods and Mark and Helena having sex, and it just feels off. The music doesn't carry the romantic, climactic sense it did in the elevator kiss from season 1. It's colder, almost villainous. Their little love talk before and after feels forced. Part of it is the direction. The camera seems to linger just a little too long in certain places, like it's holding its breath. But where the directing leaves you uneasy, the acting confirms it. It's like Britt Lower and Adam Scott just shut off their chemistry for this scene. This show just provides character dynamics you can't see anywhere else, and that's what makes it so special. Not every character is so contrasting as Helena and Helly. Innie Mark and Outie Mark are much more similar in personality, but Innie Mark is much more sure of himself than Outie Mark is when we first meet them. Outie Mark looks more disheveled and doesn't have things figured out. Innie Mark is a newly promoted manager that walks with confidence of someone who owns his own space. At heart, they're the same person, with just two different perspectives on life. They're more like two sides of the same coin, but not a completely different currency like in Helly's case. The cabin conversation between the two Marks is one of my favorite scenes in the whole show. It starts off calm, Outie Mark assumes that they're on the same page, but the longer they talk, the more it unravels. Innie Mark doesn't want to be shut down. He's made a life for himself, with real relationships and purpose, and he's not ready to lose that. Adam Scott plays both versions so well that you forget you're watching just one actor. There's a subtle shift in posture, tone, expression, just enough to make them distinct, but still connected. It's a masterclass in nuanced acting. Lastly, the final performance I want to touch on is Mr. Milchick. He's such a deliciously fun villain to love and to hate. I love that we get to spend so much time with him. You don't want to see him win against our characters, but you don't want to see him lose either. He's part of this evil cult company called Lumen, but I can't help but feel bad for him. He's like the most lonely character in the entire show. Tramell Tillman plays him with the perfect mix of humor, menace, and repressed emotion. One of my favorite Milchick moments is after his performance review when he tries to fix himself in the mirror using smaller and smaller words. There's so much tension in that scene. You can just hear the stress cracking through his corporate, perfect exterior.
Grow.
Unlike most characters we follow in the show, Milchick isn't severed, but he still wears a mask. His whole persona is a performance of cheerful loyalty, and when that mask slips, even for a second, it's electric. Another example of this is in the scenes with Natalie. Lumen gifts him a bizarre set of new portraits where Lumen's founder, Kier, is suddenly black, and Milchick is clearly unsettled by this. Later, he tries to talk to Natalie about it, reaching out for a connection, and she shuts him down completely. Tillman plays that moment beautifully. You see a flash of vulnerability, this subtle and brief drop in his act, and then the mask snaps back into place, and he's alone again.
Mr. Drummond's waiting.
Yes, of course.
There's honestly not a single weak performance in this show. Everyone brings their A game. Even the kid actor absolutely nails it.
Why are you a child?
Because of when I was born.
Severance has so many layers to love. It's one of those shows that just sticks in your head long after it ends. I catch myself thinking about Lumen's bigger plan, or why certain characters made the choices they did. One moment I'm still stuck on, why did Helena sleep with Mark? My personal theory, she saw how happy her Innie was, and she just wanted to feel that kind of love for herself. Maybe agreeing to pretend to be Helly wasn't just a strategy. Maybe she wanted to live that life, just for a little bit. But what do you think? Did you read that scene the same way, or do you have your own theory? Let me know in the comments. I'd love to hear your take. Thank you for watching. I'll see you next time. Bye.